What's going on? I didn't realize what time it was. Let me try to get this a little bit better. How's everyone doing? It's early morning before the Thanksgiving holiday. Oh, my hair is going crazy. Morning, 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 everybody. We'll give it the usual minute or so, and then we'll get to chatting here. Hold on. I'm trying to get my camera rearranged. Still not used to this new stand I have here. How's everyone doing? How's the video? How's the sound? You can hear me all right? Light and all that fun stuff, okay? There it is. Oh, good. All right. Oh, looks like we might have a nice small crowd this morning to chat. Thank you. Everyone likes the ceiling. Everyone loves the ceiling. Usually, almost every week, somebody comments on the ceiling. Oh, awesome! I don't remember what blue necklace you got, but I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you sold it. Hopefully, you made some decent profit off of it. It's cold this morning. My house is chilly. My toes are cold. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I didn't really put a huge agenda today for today together. I didn't write any notes, nothing like that. So, hey, White Owl, what's going on? I'm glad you're here. Were you the one that asked during Liz's chat about getting over like jitters? Was that you? If I remember correctly, was that you? All right. Let me ask everybody in here, since I don't have a real huge agenda, and there's a couple things I'm going to go over before my mind goes on a bunch of bunny trails, since that's the first thing that popped in here. How many people in here have that or are curious as to other? I made one suggestion. I have another one that I would suggest, but is there anybody else here that finds that to be a major problem for them here with selling? Good morning. And if not, we'll just go right past. We'll just go on to something else. But hey, my flipping van life, how's it going? Nobody. We have a quiet chat. I can't have a chat if nobody's talking, especially since I don't have a huge thing in here set up for a agenda. My 80 baby, how's life treating you? What's going on? Driving. I guess if you live in a van, it happens quite a bit, right? Coming back. All right. Nobody's answering. That's fine. I know it's a situation. Here's my the question was, how many people in here are new or thinking of becoming sellers on here that find uh, the kind of like the your first appearance, your jitters, your nervousness as far as being on camera, talking to people, all that fun kind of stuff. All right, if you were at Liz's chat when I was talking at the last chat, I was disappointed by DSS. I don't know what that means. Try a poll. Yeah, I'm not going to go in that crazy. We just go where the trail takes us. Nothing makes you nervous. Well, that's an oddity. Congratulations to you. No, jump all in, no time for jitters. That's all. That's great if you're the type of personality that can do that. I suggest that people go check out Toastmasters clubs in order to get kind of over that with you know your fear. If you get over your fear of public speaking, you shouldn't really have a problem dealing with this kind of stuff. Um, what's that? Not even though it's thought Kate and I don't know what. Oh, you talking to somebody else? Oh, uh, anyway, let me get back to what I'm trying to say. Without going into at the risk of bringing up politics here, which it's not really. My suggestion to you doesn't matter. I don't care about what political affiliation you have. If you want to get over that the jitters, um, and you'll have plenty of opportunity. I don't care where you are, what political affiliation you are, with the campaign seasoning coming up. If you're involved or care at all about that sort of thing, go volunteer to canvas. You kind of get a twofer out of it. If you have, a specific, you know, side of the political spectrum that you support or a candidate you support, go do that. I'm going to tell you right now, this stuff you're going to deal with. I did it several years back for a campaign, and again, I don't talk about politics or what affiliation I have, but let's just say I went canvassing, knocked on. I was the for the campaign. I ended up being the top canvasser. But you want to talk about dealing with uncomfortable situations, and talk about getting over nervousness and getting over jitters. That'll knock it right out of you. I promise you. It's sometimes fun, but as a general rule, it's not the most pleasant experience to have. But uh, it will knock that out of you. You coming on here and talking after knocking on hundreds of doors and talking to people randomly, you will have no issues coming on here and talking to people. That's my obviously it's my opinion, but you'd have to stick to it and get over your discomfort. But that's my other suggestion to everybody. Well, of course they can, and that's the point. You will learn how to handle situations. The whole point is to get over the scary aspects, learn how to deal with those situations, and this will be a piece of cake. The whole point is to kind of like that. Whoever it was that earlier said that they don't have time for jitters and just jumped in. Take that approach. Am I selling today? Mostly chatting. I am gonna later on do a little bit of an experiment potentially where I'll sell a couple things, but that's about it. Sunday mornings are reserved for chats. It's really more about getting people to shop than getting in front of the camera. Well, retro retreat, um, getting people to shop comes along with being able to get in front of the camera. One of my big things that I talk about, and one of the things I went on Liz's chat show is about how you sell and the environment you create when you're selling is a huge factor. And if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, your shoppers aren't going to shop. They're not going to buy from you. They're going to feel your discomfort. They're going to feel your nervousness, and it's going to colossally affect your sales. Um, you know, luckily it's Liz that I get to talk about with our back and forth. We both have different opinions on what the weight of. I think her thing that she talks about a lot is the trust factor, and she thinks that's very heavily weighted. I believe that it's a huge influence, without a doubt. Building the trust and all that stuff has a major impact on your sales here and whatnot. Uh, um, but the environment you create, the way you sell, uh, to me, and I will, and I completely believe this from what I've read and everything, is one of the largest, and my personal experiences on here and out of here, in my uh, sales experiences. If you've heard me talk about how my background and my approach to sales, um, that that aspect, the way you sell, the environment you create in order to sell, is way heavier and more influential on what you manage to get. So I'm not disagreeing with any of what you're saying. I just think it's weighted differently, and it's a large influential factor in you succeeding in sales. And as we all know, You'd be lying to yourself if you didn't understand that, being on here is sales. No two ways about it. So, adding value to the stream is important too, helping explain knowledge and also being able to learn new things. I do love these comments because my approaches are really different. I'm glad you brought that up. Again, this is all I want you guys and everyone to understand. This is my approaches. This is my personal experiences and my personal beliefs. So, to that note, helping explain knowledge and also being able to learn new things. Absolutely, learning new things is huge. To me, I don't know what knowledge you're referencing, like knowledge about items and stuff like that. I don't cast a heavy weight on being able to sell stuff based on the knowledge I have of a particular item. What's that term? Telling's not selling, but sometimes you have to tell in order to sell. What that basically means is just spitting a bunch of knowledge and technical factors about something out is not really going to improve your sales. I've explained many, many times I've made more money from what I don't know than what I do know, and that's in buying and in selling. I do, in my opinion, pretty decent with jewelry, and I know little to nothing about it. I assist my brother. We do a team effort there with selling coins. I know little to nothing, and I can tell you from experience when I start, uh, talking about coins and stuff like that from a completely different aspect of my lack of knowledge, technical knowledge for it, I believe it influences the sale positively. Wait, what's going on? I'm lost as to, is it really necessary to consider repeat yourself? If so, let me do I don't know what that reference is, but I do tell people to ask questions. I'm not always paying attention to chat, so repeating it's fine by me if that's what's going on. Uh, explain what with emotion does more than knowledge. Space Viking can. What do you mean by that? Explain how emotion does more than knowledge. Is that what you're asking? The Yeah, my 80 baby's gonna go back to the POP and POS personalities that everyone seems to resonate with here. Um, but oh, explain. Yeah, my energy. I mean, would you guys? I could be wrong. Usually, I don't really have a huge energy level. I mean, I can. I'm guessing my inflection of my voice changes based on what I'm enthused about. So, hold on. Is that if someone knows more than you with coins or jewelry, then they think they are getting over on you, or you're getting a good deal. It here's the slippery slope with all this is everyone has their again. I'm just giving my opinions on all this. Um, and I'm sure you've all seen this. You go in and there's people that don't know anything of what they're selling, and they somehow manage to get ridiculous prices for stuff. But you can feel the energy. You kind of get in the back of your head can understand like, oh, I can see why they're getting it, but you still really don't understand. It's a hard thing to kind of to hash out, but it is uh, an energy that you can bring, an environment. What's the secret sauce? All right, my brain's going all over the place here since we went down this bunny trail. The secret sauce is different for everybody. The secret sauce is the willingness to, for me, for me, any secret sauce or success I have when it comes to selling in any environment, anything like that, has to do with studying the things that I'm interested in and figuring out how to apply those things. Like I told you, I am not a technical knowledge based person because I don't see, unless it's something I'm interested in. Like I don't force myself to learn um, technicals about anything because I don't think it's as important in selling as it is to be good at selling. So I research more about, as you know, human behavior, behavioral economics, behavioral science, statement analysis is a big thing. Body language. When I was selling with people one on one, I would study about because that was more effective for me in succeeding in any type of sales when I was in the mortgage business. I started learning all this when I was, um, was in the furniture sales business. If you were at Liz's chat, you would have heard how, I got started. I forced myself into sales. And it's more about a relation, uh, building a comfort with that person through who you are and selling yourself than it is selling the actual items that you have. Um, and that comes with things like getting out of your comfort zone. You have to real like I told you, go knock on doors. It's scary. It sucks. It's uncomfortable. But everything else like this becomes way easier when you force yourself to go through some. I mean, it's just the way it works. When you work on a puzzle that's extremely hard right out of the gate, the other puzzles that you try to solve are going to be easier to accomplish just by what you learned and experienced and dealt with. And that's all basis of comparison. So that is the secret sauce to me. It's years and years of trial and error and in the approach that I like to take. Um, you know, again, the technical. I'll give you an example, and I bring this up. Um, Let me just. We'll talk about. Um, well, yeah, Space Cat. It's just the way it is. I started talking about this a little bit during my chat with Liz. That's called your our brains have what's called mirroring neurons in it, and it's an effect that you can't stop from happening. That's why when you go to a fundraiser, a church gathering, or something like that, and people are all excited, they it and you get excited as well because everyone around you is excited. When you has anyone been to like any of these in the past? I don't know how many of these they do anymore. Like, and I've been to some because when I was in the mortgage business, we would, you're in real estate, so they're very sales centric. So you go to like these seminars about sales and stuff, and they had a very specific way to increase the excitement in the crowd so everyone would get excited, involved, and then want to buy the whatever system they were selling. It's a very effective approach, but that's all about getting everybody's mirroring neurons fired up and following along with everybody else. And that happens on here. And you know it, and everybody knows it. I've been in situations where I've not had the best days. Something funky happened in the morning before I sold, or I got, just bad, slightly bad news, or something is just not working out right and throws you off. The entire sale is nowhere near as good as if you're on top of it. I mean, there's times I've felt when it came to selling stuff, I was at the top of the block. I would tell people, I could sell snow to an Eskimo. There's certain times, you feel that way. So don't discount that. That's one of the biggest factors in selling and making money, especially on here. It's one of the things that if you have that type of personality, you already have a leg up over a lot of other people in succeeding here and whatnot, because you get to see the person. They get to experience that, and that type of aspect is way more influential and can get you way more, value out of an item where most other platforms, that aspect completely lost. You don't get that. And that's a huge, huge piece of the pie when it comes to being successful in selling. So, yeah. I don't I haven't been reading chat, so I don't know if there's any other comments as far as that's concerned. I don't know if anyone else feels that. Outside of that, it still boils down to me when I tell people that I believe that the way you sell is more important than what you're selling. It's, I mean, you, that aspect is always going to be the most influential in providing you with the most profit. Um, so, and that's the thing. Like price is key. I would disagree with that, depending on how your approach is at, because price is when you're dealing with an auction, your price is set based on whatever you decide to start the item at, but what you get out of it, I believe, comes from a factor of how you decide to sell it in the design of how you sell it, how your start price you decided to sell it with, the environment you created, whether you have music on, your personality is a huge factor in that. I can't be sold as a buyer. Um, Sellers should but, so I've given examples of this, like, not e like, you can even utilize, when I say the way you sell being, an effect, like, take, for instance, I keep going back to this because I was really happy with the outcome when I started doing the reverse auction style for Hummels. You know, I was, yeah, the person selling is as important as the item or price. I would even go as far as to say that might be more important. I wouldn't say might. I would say it definitely is. It has as a larger impact on what you're going to get for an item. But let me get back to what I was saying the best I can before I get too far down bunny trails. When I did the reverse auctions, I was selling Hummels, and based on all my data and research on the value of Hummels, I averaged um, over standard retail. I was getting more for my now. There's a certain price point. Let me give a little caveat to that. Within your standard Hummel pricing, and when I say that, I mean anything that's like $50 or less. Whatnot does have a weird little blockade in our category, where when items start getting over $50, it seems to be problematic to sell. Um, on a get closer to those retail marks. But the reverse auction, what that is the system somebody asked, and I'll explain it real quick, where I start at a higher price and I'll drop the price. And there's a lot of stuff involved in it. I strategically decide what numbers to drop by in order to influence the perceived value that you get every time I drop. You strategically choose numbers that make it seem like it's a larger drop than what you normally would think it was, and that's by getting that front end handle, which we talked about in the past here. That's the first number, the first digit in your pricing. You drop it, and then once you get to a certain number, if no one bids on it, you take it off the block and you make everybody understand that it's not coming back. They can't call it back. So it's either buy it or don't, and it's up to you to decide when to jump in. And when I utilize this technique, I was getting over average retail prices for my Hummels. And Hummels, if you're a reseller, like the last time I mentioned on here, my flipping van life basically said, like, stay away from them. There's no money to be, and I would agree on a regular basis. But again, that let's go full circle here. That gives us the opportunity to realize that on a site like this, things that were in the past not monetizable to us resellers can be by utilizing different strategies that are not available to you on other sales platforms. Same thing. We all laugh and think it's funny, and it is. We were selling Boyd's Bears. I mean, I don't know how many people here bought Boyd's Bears. From my understanding, not only did they buy them, but they made money off of them. But trying to sell them in the past on any other platform was like pulling teeth. Like you couldn't. Anybody would call me up and be like, "Hey, I have 100 Boyd's Bears." I'd be like, "Go donate them." But we were selling Boyd's Bears for what I would consider decent money. We were selling by piles, but the reason we were able to sell them for what we got for them, and I had other sellers all have mentioned several times to me, like, man, if you can sell Boyd's Bears for that money, you guys should sell everything. But what they fail to recognize is it was the environment. Okay. It was the way we were selling out of the pick this old house. Everybody likes those because of all the emotional attachments that come with it, the excitement that's involved with doing it, the excitement of the find, just everything about that is a a fun experience, which helps create value. And that's how we manage to sell it. And again, that's another. It's just an ongoing, over and over and over examples of how you sell on here is the largest and most influential factor on being successful on here and getting the prices you need in order to make it on this type of platform. So I'm again I know Liz will watch this back, but Liz, I know we have differences. I think it's not a difference of opinion. We both believe that the factors we're talking about are huge factors, but I think she has a belief that the trust aspect outweighs the factor I'm talking about. I think I don't want to put words in her mouth, but it just seems from our back and forth that seems to be a huge thing in her perception. But my argument to that a little bit is because I could see the change in dollar value and a drastic change depending on how I'm selling in like sales under different moods or different styles, the price changes. So it's not like they trust me less because of that. It's because of the way I'm selling that changes that factor. Just like the Hummels, I literally had Hummel sales prior to the reverse auction style that I did, and they brought nothing. It was garbage. You know, I didn't pay anything for them, luckily, so it didn't really matter. But I didn't get squat for them when I just did a regular sale. So how do you stop letting your personal opinion on items affect if or how you sell it? That's a great question. The easiest answer is stop letting items become personal to you. I mean, I can say that easily. Please, you got to know me a little bit. I am not a collector. I am not somebody that buys anything because I have a personal association or attachment to it. So it's easy for me to say. So it's hard for me to give you that advice, other than do your best to sell things that you don't have a personal connection to. I always tell people when I'm buying. Um, one of the buying attributes I always tell people is I can't. The one value I can never beat is sentimental value. You can't do it. So when you're selling, you're gonna always set yourself up for disappointment if you have some type of sentimental attachment to what you're selling. So my suggestion is don't buy things to resell that are sentimental or have a personal connection to you. I do like if dirty or ugly, I have a hard time selling. Well, that's your approach, I would say. I'll give you an example. Again, the environment. You have to create an environment that allows for stuff like that to be sold. We do live unboxings when we do the house sales and stuff. It's fun, but it's because of that environment that we're able to sell dirty, dusty, stuff, and we tell people, hey, dirt, dust, cobwebs, and rust are free of charge. You got to have fun with it. Don't focus on it. Focus on obviously the positives of what you have, dirt, dust, and all that stuff. Everyone knows that they can clean the items. I mean, I just as an example, when we did our first pick this old house, was anyone here during for that? I know there's some people that were here for the first pick this old house. I know you were, Zimpress. Zimpress, you're here for practically every one of our sales that we've ever had. Everyone go follow Zimpress. Same thing with SS, here with us with Green 13 since day one. So Donna's doodad, yeah. Long time, buyer here at Green 13. Groupie, yeah. Yeah, the very first one we did when I came up with the idea, it was, on the spot at that gentleman's house, and he was all for it, and that, was awesome. That's what springboarded us. Just so everyone knows, A lot of our success here and whatnot was one, it was really early when there was way less, people on here. And then I'm going to get into Katie's situation, which is helping me learn what it's like to be a new buyer and whatnot now. Because it's easy for me to sit here and tell you all, like, oh, here's all these strategies we use, but a lot of them aren't going to work in today's environment. Anyway, I'm trying to think where I was going with all this. As far as dirty stuff goes, that environment we created was, a first. I mean, I don't know where there would have been an opportunity for that to be had, except for something on like Facebook or YouTube at the time. But Whatnot allowed us to actually go into somebody's house and sell live out of the house as we were digging. More and more that's coming online here with Whatnot, but that I think was a first experience for just about everybody and anybody here on Whatnot at the time. So I literally had an item. It was a stuffed animal. It was some type of bird or something like that. And hopefully Zimpris or SS remembers this. We told him it smelled. It was dirty and filthy and matted and disgusting. And literally said, "You do not want this. We are not going to sell this." And guess what? They wanted it and they bought it. And that's because of the environment we created. That they thought it'd be funny and fun to buy it. So if you're finding dirty stuff and having a hard time selling it, I hate to say it, but it kind of comes down to the environment that you created. If you're trying to sell dirt, obviously I'm not trying to advocate that you sell dirty stuff and hide it. You figure out a way to make dirty stuff fun and entertaining, and people will buy it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, everyone go sell dirty, just sell it dirty. I'm just using an example of how, you pretty much can sell anything if, one, you obviously still have to constantly be honest, but if you create the right buying and entertaining environment, things start selling themselves pretty easily. Yeah, when you sell in volume, it's impossible to clean, and that's what we do. So that's hold on. Somebody asked a question. Can you explain what reverse auctions again, please? Yeah, I will explain reverse auction again real quick. But to address this back and forth that's going on, yes, there's volume sellers, and then and that's the environment. I'm not saying advocating for one or the other. I'm just saying that if you're selling stuff individually and it's super clean, that's obviously the environment you're creating. That's what's helping you sell that item for higher dollars. If you have an environment where you're just digging and selling, in order to get more money, you have to create an environment that helps, or a sales style, or a combination thereof, that helps with selling things like that. Um, but still, all of this still leads back to the environment, the style of sales you decide to partake in. Like I explained, there's the technical aspects. We talked about dollar starts in the past. I talked about doing reverse auctions. There was a time, unfortunately, that you can't do as much of that on here, where you try to make it entertaining and fun, with certain prizes to be had, but you can't do that as much. Um, and like, come to our sale on Fridays. We now started implementing to try to make it a little more fun and entertaining, the box battle aspect, where we pick two different boxes and we see who the crowd, the chat room thinks did a better pick, which box they thought was best, but when we're done selling the items out of it. um you know Box battle. So that's all comes under the aspect of environment and the way you sell. I keep saying environment, but let's just stick with the simple term, how you sell, not what you're selling. So Reverse auctions are great. Appreciate you for that idea. Oh, yeah. Somebody did ask about reverse auctions. Again, the strategy with a reverse auction here and whatnot. I would love it if whatnot would implement an actual true element of reverse auction style. Some the ceiling, it's faux tile. It's not real tin. If you're asking about the ceiling, um, but I'll explain one more time, and then you can go back and watch my videos. I talk about reverse auctions, but it's just a reverse auction is an element. When I say reverse auction, there's two types of reverse auction. There's a commercial reverse auction where it's actually more sellers trying to buy to fewer bidders than the other way around. That is a commercial contract reverse auction. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a reverse auction where the numbers start higher and you slowly and incrementally drop them. So I'll start an item at, let's say, $30, and then I'll drop it to a certain price point and run it again. And you do 10 seconds and you continue to do that. And then when it gets to a certain point, you take it away and you tell them, you make everyone understand right up front that you're not bringing it back. So the only time they can buy it is at some point, and they don't know when you're going to stop. You know, you might stop at, 24 dollars. You might stop at $9, but you also might stop at $34. They don't know that, and you're not going to tell them that. That defeats the purpose. So that is a reverse auction. I do that with certain type of category sales. My suggestion to you, if you're going to utilize that element, it's when you buy a large collection of something where the price point where you can average the price. If we bought a bunch of Hummels, we know what we paid on per Hummel on average across the entirety of the collection. And then you can create a strategic pricing system in order to do that. And as far as that's concerned, if anybody wants to actually have a reverse auction and wants to talk to me about how to put one together, let me know. I can even help you out with strategic pricing for your price drops that will be effective. I find that fascinating. I love those. We've done several of them. We haven't come across a collection that I could really utilize that system again. But if you have something where you bought a bunch of the same type of like, let's say, Christmas ornaments, you bought a huge collection of Christmas ornaments and you want to sell them that way. No, I don't have anything like that to do it. I haven't bought a collection to be able to utilize that. So yeah, I'm more than happy. That's not a hard thing to help somebody with. So if you have a collection like that, I would enjoy doing that. I would have some fun trying to help somebody else implement that. I've also expressed how that can help you get higher prices as a new seller here on. I mean, you could do it with other. You could do it with a mixed match of a bunch of different things as long as your approach was, hey, I paid X amount for all these items. They're all the same price points. That's how that works. So you can do your numbers the same across the board. So if you're ever in that situation where you bought a collection and you price it out by item, um, and you want to do a reverse auction, I one would love to help you do it and watch and see how the results go for it. So I'm just throwing that out there because I liked doing those, and I don't have any collections to do it with right now, and I would really like to do another one. Ugh. New mug today? No, I think this is the one that everyone was trying to get me to sell. This is one of my wife's favorite mugs. You have a whole lot. Hey, my 80 baby, I am up for it all day long. I'd love to try to coordinate a reverse auction with you if you want to. How big of a collection? That doesn't matter. It's how many items do you want to try to sell in a sale? So it has to be enough to have a sale. That's it, Or you're just asking me how big the collection that I bought. Um, my numbers where my numbers went wrong in my Hummel sale was not from the sale itself. I did not make as much money as I would like to, but I was told the collection was 800 plus strong Hummels, and it was not. Um, when we were done selling, I think my calculation was um, about 200 shy of that. So Hold on a second. I don't want to go down a huge bunny trail unless everyone wants to keep talking about reverse auctions. Can reverse auction be good for various items? Say new makeup. If an item doesn't sell, say to rerun it at a lower price again until it sells. No, you don't rerun it till it sells. That defeats the purpose. You drop the price, because they'll just wait till you get down to the bottom price anyway. So your factor, of uncertainty, which is what's getting the price you're looking for, you don't want to just keep dropping it. What makes it worthwhile is the buyer, not knowing when you're not going to drop the price anymore. So one sale, I might pull the item out at $17. Another sale, I might pull it off the block at $22. And another sale, I might let it go the whole way down to $9. That's for me to decide based on what I think the item should sell for, or where my comfort level is, or the energy in the room, and all those factors. So, um, some sellers who have large who have contracts with, yeah. The other thing is, just so you know, the reverse auction concept also helps with, like, my Hummel sales, just so everyone understands, only had 20 to 30 people. Sometimes it would be higher because people were curious, but they weren't there for buying, they were there out of curiosity. But my Hummel sales very often had, you know you know, less than 30, very frequently in the low to mid 20s, as far as viewers, as far as people in the room. Just so you understand, and I got, like I said, a great value out of it. Yes, no, I don't sing. You would not want to hear me sing. 20 to 30 viewers is a lot. Um, yeah, it that's the thing that's hard. I like to do these things to try to help new sellers. It's why I'm working with Katie. But I know the fact of her being associated with us helps get her, the 20 plus viewers that, she's had 2 sales now. Um, and, but even at that, things have been very interesting and eye opening to me as far as a new seller on here. Um, and trying to get more viewers is obviously a factor of being consistent and being on here, and I believe trying new things. But for me, just be, um, if you're a new seller, be diligent and keep going at it, through all the hardships. I had a chat once before that had to do with new seller success. Make sure you view your successes in a different benchmark. Don't view it as far as sales go, or how many people are in your room. View it as how successful you got through your stream without hiccups, problems, and being comfortable, and increasing that comfort as you go along. Um, yeah, I mean, it's all it takes is to, and I've suggested, cover your viewership count. Sometimes that distracts you and creates a negative mindset, which they'll read right through and creates a discomfort, and that'll cause people to not stick around in your sales. Um, yeah, if you know, it, it's a pain we've all gone through, but it's a pain I can't say I shared because I got into Whatnot at a completely different time. Um, and Jay Thrifty, followers to me are not what's important. Our philosophy. Followers are followers for a bunch of different reasons. We have a lot of followers, but we also sell in a lot of different categories, so they don't translate over. So let's say you look at it, and this is just one example. Um, I see people with 3,000 followers that get way more people than we do for certain categories. And that's because of that factor that we cross sell. So, we're pushing 11,000 followers or something, or 12. I don't remember. I don't even keep track of it, but it's I see people with 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers and they only have 30 people in their room. And they're getting inorganic followers. So don't worry about followers. Don't concentrate on followers. Don't concentrate a ton on room count. Just do your thing and do it as well as you can. Keep studying, learning, and trying different things. Go back and watch your sales. And if you're watching it, if you're too embarrassed to watch your own sales, then realize you're probably coming across with a little bit of a timid approach to your selling, and that's going to affect your sales. So get over that timidness. I've done it. I hated hearing myself talk. I hated watching myself on video, but it is eye opening and it helps you catapult your ability to succeed here on Whatnot if you go back and do it. So, again, I want to emphasize to everybody it's scary to do the stuff that I'm suggesting sometimes, but that's what gets you to where you need to be. um, Listening to yourself, very uncomfortable. Watching yourself, like I am right now, I mean, it was very uncomfortable for me at one point in time. Um, Talking to people on the phone was uncomfortable to me. Talking to people in person was uncomfortable to me. All of that, and it's all like I'm not talking just uncomfortable. I'm talking outright fear. Like, I failed classes in high school because I wouldn't go up front and do my, whatever the assignment required me to go up front and talk. I refused to do it and failed for it. And I look back at it now and I'm like, man, how much further would have I been in life had I just realized if I got over those fears early on, I wouldn't have had to, subject myself to it later and probably, cause me a pretty big setback. So there's no time like the present to get started on it. And it's all about starting on yourself and moving forward. Um, and the failures, obviously, the people that fail the most that succeed the most. I mean, your approach to accepting failure is, the true um, um, pusher towards success. Couldn't think of a better word for that, but the essentially failure is success, and you can't have it without. They come together. You can't. And so look at it from this perspective. When you're trying to get out there and do stuff, and you're being active in what you're doing, the more you fail, the more you're going to succeed. So, um, question: some sellers will start at one and will get up to maybe eight, and then all of a sudden it goes up to $40. Why does that happen? That's probably just a delay and whatnot, especially if you're doing sudden death. The time that somebody swipes and the latency from the video that they're watching, whatnot, gives it time to catch up. So that's probably what it is. There you go. My 80 baby. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of my inability to speak properly. That's what I was trying to say. What she said, what my 80 baby said. So let me touch base. Like I said, I didn't really have an agenda for today's chat. It is truly a random rambling day today. Anybody here been with me the past couple of chats when I was talking about Katie? I've been going on this venture with Katie. People say, like, oh, mentoring. I don't want to really view it as mentoring her. It's more like we're working together towards a goal. My goal is to learn, just because I like knowing what's going on. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We had a show with Katie. It was a delightful disaster, I would say. And it wasn't a failure by any. I don't want to say give any negatives, but the positives were the all the problems, and here's where the failure, and continuing to go on. I got to give Katie a lot of credit here, because she's not deterred. She's determined. She's just like, I'm going to keep moving forward with this, and I'm having a great fun time. And I was more frustrated yesterday with her when she was selling, not with her. I said that and started another. I was not frustrated with her at all. I was frustrated with what was going on. But like I, try to tell everybody, when you're selling on here early on, your successes are in the problems you encounter and how you get through them. You got to get through all that first before you really start making the financial success here on whatnot. So her sale we had, we did about the same amount of items, same amount of time, but the prices we got were not as much. I intentionally tried to stay out of it. It was time for her to try to sell everything on her own. She was more comfortable. She was still had the beginner jitters, which is going to take a while to get over. She also ran into problems. One of them was her connection was poor, so the video was rough, and I know how that impacts prices pretty greatly. There were some issues with people being able to bid because I know Whatnot's been having problems, and I verified that myself because I was like, people keep saying there's issues, so I went in and I tried to bid on something myself just to see. It wouldn't let me bid. So and here's the thing I took away. Here's the thing I realized, and here's what's rough. When Whatnot's having these issues, it has, like, for us, when we have our Friday sale, we have 80 to 100 plus people in our room. The inability to, the little glitches where people can't bid and stuff like that, does it impact us? Yes, but it has a huge impact. That's can be colossal when you only have, 15, 20, or, if you have less than 20, 25 people in your room. So your buying pool is so small that if one of those people out of the two, maybe three people that want to bid on something, that has a huge, huge effect on your sale in the end. So I'm going to talk about that, Kelly, in a bit. So the benefits, or not, the negative impact it has seems to be, to me, felt like it was pretty hefty. Um, and it was funny. She went out uh, and bought. Like, I told her, I'm like, don't, until you're comfortable with Whatnot, don't go do anything crazy. Don't go buy new gadgets or anything until this is something you want to do and stick with. And like she said at the beginning, against my advice, she went out and bought a brand new tablet. A an Apple tablet, and it we didn't have the proper stand for it, and you didn't have frozen bidding on it. That's cool. I did. I had some, but anyway, she knocked it over a couple times. She accidentally ran an item that without realizing it. I mean, we had all kinds of fun problems that we got through. She's not deterred by it, and I overall, was it a success to me? Yes, from those perspectives. What I was hoping that we would get to and get through didn't happen. But I give kudos to her for, just like me. I was getting frustrated. Katie's username, someone can throw it up there. If I for Beauty or Zimpress is here or something, they can throw it up in the chat for me. But it's Katie 14K. There you go. Katie 14K, I for Beauty. Thank you very much. So again, my takeaway from all that, you bought a lot. Yeah, you did. You got a lot of good deals. Yep. You just, hey, love, what's going on? Well, hi. You just stop by to say hi. Well, does that mean you're leaving us already? Work. Gotcha. Well, thanks for stopping in and saying hi. So, with Katie's sale, she was. I'm just going to tell you one small observation that I had. When we were we were there. She was trying to sell sterling silver rings. She sold a couple. I think Living Bliss got one or two of them. Um, yeah, I know she does. This is your wife? No, 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 no. My wife's Elizabeth. Um, she's. I think I hear her upstairs walking around right now. No, Katie's. If you watch one of my past shows, you'll get an idea who Katie is and how the relationship, business relationship that we're kind of going through, how that all developed and how that's been going. But she where was I at? I got off on a bunny trail now. Not bunny trail. My thought went off from what I was trying to talk about. Oh, the sterling silver rings. She was trying to sell sterling silver rings, and all of them sold for a buck or two or something like that. And then I was trying to do my best to not get involved in selling. I wanted her to do all the selling to see where the benchmarks and the numbers came out, so I could see, do my own personal evaluation on the whole thing. My data and my evaluation is going to be skewed, I believe, due to some of the issues we had um, during that sale. But it's okay. I'll do what I can to kind of put together the best data and information I can with what even though with what happened. But I grabbed the ring. It's just a sterling silver ring with a heart, cut stone in it. And instead of getting a buck or two when I was selling it, it went to like $17. Now, again, I personally am still in the boat of 100% belief that it had to do with the way I decided to sell and talk about it. Um, and I know Liz believes it has to do with somehow once I pick it up and start talking about it, all the connection to trust with me suddenly floods in, and you're willing to pay more for it. Again, I am in the colossal side of the spectrum that it's because of the way I was selling, as opposed to that connection. Okay, the thing is, you don't need to feel bad. Just so you know, all of that is fine by her. All of it was, I did a thorough job of expressing and explaining to her how whatnot works, the things you're going to have to go through, the hardships you're going to have to feel, the losses you might end up taking, all that stuff. We can't resist you. No. But I'm sorry, I had to chuckle at that, Kim. That's kind of funny. And you threw me off, Kim. You threw me off. But my point in all trying to my point in everything that I'm trying to make with that is everyone can create that type of environment through time. The element uh, that Liz talks about is a huge factor. Yeah, you do. You'll get more when the trust uh, factor is there. But my argument is through my knowledge of what I read and what I was kind of talking about during her chat that I joined in is the heuristics that happen by association. Everyone understand what a heuristic is, right? Do we know? I don't want to assume. No. No, explain. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's gonna help out here a lot in my observations here and help you guys. Um, it's basically if you heard me talk about anchors, it's an associative connection that you make that shortcuts uh, those type of feelings. It's what happens when let's say let's give an example of like you're single, you're you know out on looking for somebody else that someone to date or something, and your friend has a coworker, right? that you're interested in. Okay. So, what are you going to do in that situation? You're going to ask your friend to introduce you um, to that person. And instinctually, the reason why you do that is because you know that the connection that person has with your friend, when you approach them with your friend, will be also partially shared, as opposed to you going up to them and knowing nothing. There, that connection's not there. That's the reason you ask your friend to introduce you, is because you instinctually know that that person's going to be more comfortable with you by way of that person. That is what a heuristic by association is, where those comfortable feelings and those type of things are already assumed. Your brain takes a shortcut. Like if you're on the receiving end, you know that too. If somebody introduces you, if you trust the person that introduced you to somebody else, that person that is being introduced to you, you're already more comfortable with because of your association with the person that's doing the introducing. Does that make sense to everybody? Did you follow all that? So that is a heuristic by association, kind of like guilty by association. Um, a heuristic is just a general term for shortcuts. They're applied through with all kinds of stuff. It's like when you assume certain things based on how somebody you trust presents information to you. Your brain takes a shortcut and just says, "Yes, I accept that because I trust this person." And what they're saying without doing any exploratory, information finding or fact finding on your own. That's what gets us in trouble with lots of stuff, especially when it comes to politics. But let's keep on moving away from that bad topic. I don't know why I keep bringing it up today. But anyway, that aspect with Katie that Liz talks about a lot through that association should not really or would not be a huge factor. That should already have been, especially since I'm in the room with her. Your brains, like anybody that was in there bidding or were in there willing to bid, did you trust Katie less than you would have trusted me? You know, my guess is would be no. I don't want to put. You guys can answer in the chat. Like, for some reason, would you have trusted Katie less than me when it came to any factor? And if there's a yes, that's awesome because I'd like to hear why. That would be very, very interesting to me to know. Beards are bad for trust. So, with that said, my point is what that leaves you with is how you're selling. Um, and I'm going to beat that horse to over and over and over and over again because uh, I think that's my biggest thing anymore. I'm coming to this conclusion through having these chats. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for the tip, by the way. I got to mark that down. That is a huge that is going to be my suggestion to almost any new seller, anybody. Oh, my pen's dead. A lot of good that's going to do me, huh? Hold on one second. I don't have another one. All right, I'll just have to go back and look later. Yeah, and that was done by design by me with this whole aspect that this this venture that I'm going on, this adventure. It's an adventure I'm going on with Katie. My goal, there's a 3-time exposure, which gives you max return on associations like that. Meaning that if I exposed you to her 3 times through exposure with me or through me via having a chat or having her along for a sale that I had and having another chat, those were the 3 times before she had her sale. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And but that's the thing. You had that association through me. You trusted her because of me. So her selling would have not eliminated that trust. Well, the cause the price to be lower if the trust factor was one of the biggest reasons why you're willing to bid higher. So that's my big argument. One of my not argument. One of my big points. Um, and this is just again, it's a friendly back and forth me and Liz have had since she sent me that message. And I continue will say, I believe 100% you have to build that trust, but you can. My experiment is to try to see how you shortcut that. And it's one of those things that my takeaway from the first sale and even the second sale is you guys have the trust in her. And the only difference was when I started selling the way I prefer to sell jewelry in comparison to the way she was selling jewelry. And it's not even selling jewelry. It's you guys, I'm sure everyone knows and can tell when someone's selling and they're nervous and they're at a loss for words and stuff like that. It just creates that weird reservation. And when you have that reservation, you just don't bid. People don't bid as much. So, um, was there any other questions or comments that I missed? Again, today's just I truly just rambling chat session, and that I did not put any notes together. Oh, Black Friday. Oh, yes, yeah. Who here is planning on selling on Black Friday? Yeah, and yeah, and no, no, no. All right. Here's my takeaway on Black Friday. Uh, any tips for new jewelry sellers? Ask that after I'm done going over Black Friday. So stick around. Ask that again. Okay. Um, Black Friday, I think my personal, again, this is my personal opinion. I think some of the issues we've been having on Whatnot the last couple days, they went down that one day while I was selling, and it's been a little glitchy. People having some issues here and there. I think that's because they're load testing for Black Friday. Yes, I for beauty. I agree with you. Black Friday. Did anyone join the Whatnot seller? Some they have that seller chat now once a week. Okay, during one of those chats, someone asked, "Do you guys feel comfortable with your buyer to seller ratio?" Their answer was a read between the lines. To me, BS answer. It was, "We feel it's healthy," which to me translates to, "We got enough to keep making money the way we need to." That's what that answer meant. Um, so the reason I'm bringing that up is because we all know on here, especially in this category, the buyer to seller ratio is not the way it needs to be. There needs to be more buyers. A ton of sellers on here are buyers. So if you have a Black Friday event where a ton of people are selling, what's that going to happen to a platform that's out, that the weight of buyer to seller is not where it needs to be? I mean, you guys answer me. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, we're going to sell on Black Friday. We're going to do 12 hours. I'm prepared based on what I'm saying, for it's going to be one of two. It's either going to be great or it's going to be a colossal, waste of, big waste of time. But just crushed all my hopes and dreams. So I don't want to be the negative Nancy situation here, but you got to deal with what your observations are based on what they've talked about, what they've said. So if everybody's selling on here, you guys know where I'm going with this statement, that there's going to be a lot less buyers on here. And the way the person asked it was right. I mean, they were basically asking, what are you guys doing to prepare for Black Friday? And how do you feel about your buyer to seller ratio? Um, and if I don't get a response like, if I don't hear them say, "Oh, our buyer to seller ratio is on par with every other platform that sells. If not, it's above, it's better." That's not what they said. They said, "We feel it's healthy," um, which, like, you could just tell in his tone of voice and inflection that there was not any. colossal belief, even belief, security in that statement. So, so my prediction is they're going to have load issues because there's going to be so many people selling. Um, so I'm just prepared for there to be some, some glitches throughout the day. And I believe that there is going to be, your if there's so much to choose from, your viewer count. So don't be discouraged because everyone's going to happen. Your viewer count, the amount of people in your room, is going to be low. Um, and since there's going to be so much to choose from, I'm telling you right now, if you're going to be on Black Friday, you better make it fun and exciting to keep people in your room. And it's again, we just talked. It's not about all the deals. They're going to be on there thinking, "Oh, there's going to be so many deals and stuff to go from one place to the next." That in their brain, it's going to be too much for them to differentiate. So you got to be the differentiating factor, and that's through who you are, how you sell, and what and the way you're selling. There's going to be too much to choose from. So what you're selling is going to be less important than ever on Friday. So that's my opinion and my takeaway. I like that chipper flipper. You can have a glitch count. You'll just hang out in G13. Well, Art, I'll do some self promotion for Black Friday. What we're planning on doing. Um, um, what category do you think will do best? I have I have no idea. It's well to me, it's going to be whatever category is doing great on Whatnot now is going to be the best potential performer there. So we're going to be doing 12 hours. We're going to be doing things in stages. We're going to do coins or jewelry the first 2 hours, and then from 8 a.m. till 10, and then from 10 to 11, it'll be whichever other one we do. I think I'm going to do coins from 8 to 10, and then uh, 10 to 12 will be jewelry, and then 12 till I think 6 o'clock ish. We'll be doing our short save and sell session, the box pulls, the banana boxes, all that fun stuff. And then from 6 till about 8 o'clock, we will be doing comic books. Hey, buddy, stop scratching that. I'll tell you a story. This is funny. Okay. The cat's taken over. Zero. But come on. Oh my goodness. Where was I at? I completely lost my train of thought. Zero, you messed me up. You got me all off kilter. I know we're talking about something. Oh, the story. Yeah. Thank you. I went to Shane and I'm like, hey, you have any thoughts on Black Friday? Obviously, I had an idea, and he goes, I wanted to go just like Bill, my brother was saying. I'm like, I'm up for 24 hours. Let's have a fun 24-hour bash and see what happens. Let's go at it. Have a good old time. I would have segmented everything so we could each taking breaks and got naps in or whatever we needed to do. That'd have been a fun time. But I go to Shane and I'm like, just seeing where he was at, testing the temperature of the water and his thought on doing this. Well, as that you already, what was it? Eye for Beauty said Shane will be over in 6 hours. I went to Shane and I'm like, oh yeah, what do you think? And he goes like, well, it's not like we're gonna do a 12-hour thing or anything like that. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking we're gonna do. Although I was thinking 24, he he didn't even want to do 12. And what's to be honest, what's funny about that, this time of year on Black Friday, when we would work every year before this year, we would be out. You've heard us say we'd be out 14 plus hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. Miami, baby. So, it's also, we're in retail. You have a business. This quarter is the quarter to make money. I mean, you got to crank. And look at like right now, I have one sale for next week posted, and that's Friday. I will be popping up throughout the week. We'll be doing coins and jewelry, of course. No reason for this ridiculousness. 20, I do want to do. Whether Shane's going to be involved or not, I'll figure out how to get it done once we have a certain estate or collection that comes in. I would love just for fun do a 24-hour stream. My opinion on Cyber Monday versus Black Friday. Hold on a second. Someone asked me a question earlier in the chat. I forget what the question was, but I told them to ask it again. I kind of went over my Black Friday thought. What was that? Are you still here? And can you ask again? Because I'm not going to be able to scroll the whole way back up. It was about jewelry. What was the question about jewelry? I'm sorry. I don't remember the particular question. But I know it was one that I wanted to answer. I'm terrible at that. I'm not like the hodgepodge place where she somehow manages to remember everything somebody asked in chat. It was tips for new jewelry sellers. Again, I have a hard time with this I'm trying to figure out more what it's like to be in an environment as a new seller through my experiences with Katie selling on here. And even then, it's kind of not the best comparison because she had the help of the association with us. But, my tips for any of that stuff is the same thing, um, you have to make sure you create the environment. My tips for new sellers in general is the same, but as far as jewelry specifically, don't tell, sell. All right. And what I mean by that, telling's not selling, but don't hold up a piece of jewelry and talk about the technical fact particulars about it. I suggest this for anything you're selling. This is me talking about my experience in selling and what works best. I want to know, what that jewelry is going to do for me when I buy it and decide to wear it. If I'm a dealer, I want to know, how much money I could potentially sell it for. I want to know, tell a story about it. Give an example. Like I don't know anything about jewelry. So you're asking a person that knows very little. I'm learning a little as I go along, but that's all I care to learn is as the chat educates me. Um, you know, I'm more interested in like, things like if there is a technical like the birthstone, the type of, certain things that sound cool to me, like when she was talking about the cathedral style ring, filigree rings and all that kind of stuff. I love talk like the beauty of those type of things are what is amazing to me. And that's what I can talk about and I see being the most effective and reactive in buyers when they buy. They want to know what other people are going to see in that jewelry when they're wearing it. No one's gonna be like, hey, check this out. This is, 2.5 carat, type of stone. It's this, that, and the other thing. Jewelry is about what it does for you when you're wearing it and the impact it has. So sell that aspect, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm saying, or did that not make any sense? So as a new seller, um, I'm just trying to give you an idea of an approach that I would take. Um, the technicals, people are interested in that. So make sure, I'm not saying don't cover that, but also try to emphasize those other aspects that I'm talking about. And then you're hitting, all the marks across the board. Showing people your knowledge, what you have in something can build that trust and comfort level as well. I had, when I started selling jewelry, that trust and comfort level that Liz talks about a lot. I had that already, so I didn't have to build that when I was in the jewelry category or the coin category, because the buyers already knew me from, the year plus we've been selling and whatnot through the estate sales category. So the technicals can help you with that. So people are like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. But, the selling aspect is what you need to, the approach you need to take. And obviously, the way you talk and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're in the right state of mind. But as a buyer of jewelry, I need some specifics, more so on higher end. Example, if a brooch also has a pendant veiled in point. Yeah, that kind of stuff is, yeah. So what else do we have here? Since I don't have an agenda, I'm more willing to kind of try to pay attention to chat here. Yeah, my 80 baby. The right state of mind. Darn it, I don't have a book. If you guys okay staring at my ceiling for a second while I go get a book recommendation? Yeah, I'll bring it right now. Somebody just brought it. Good morning, Donatella. I'll be right back with my weekly book recommendation. Hold on. I left it downstairs. Come on, buddy. Come on, Zero. Gotta go. Yeah, he's jumping down. Sometimes going like, hey, that's awesome. That's great if that's the case. I start at the same time, Donna. Start at 8 a.m. Oh, Cyber Monday. I think they should have done Cyber Monday. I think it would have been more effective than Black Friday, or split it between the two. So we're talking about being in the right state of mind. If you go back and have the opportunity to watch my chat on first sale success, if it's still available, go back and watch it. But here you go. Screenshot it. Do whatever you got to do. You guys got it? All right. That book, I've already bought it several times. Did I read that? I've read it, I've listened to it, and I've read it several times, listened to it several times. I'm gonna, what is it called? Here, I'll flip it around. What is it? My 80 baby, you're gonna have to message me with that. I want to read that. There you go. So here's the deal with that book. It's like anything else. I have my ups and downs with what that book talks about. I go through phases where I utilize it more than others, and that's just life. And I got to say that it is extremely helpful on many occasions since I've read that book and since I've read it many times over. So I bought it in hardback. I have it in soft cover. I've given it to friends. I have that book in audio form. I have a Cliff Note version of it. So, no, no, I haven't. No, I have not, my baby. I'll just let you know the 15-minute book summary for that. All the summaries don't do it justice, so I would not suggest you utilize those until after you read the book in its entirety. Just it's called Peak Mind. Just make sure you just look up Peak Mind. Right there. All right. So hopefully everyone got it. And if anybody buys that book, reads it, and has a frustration, which I know what the ultimate frustration is, I can help you with that frustration and help make it all that more advantageous for you. So that's the book recommendation of this week. I had that or the other one. I do have another one that we'll save for next week. But since somebody mentioned about being in a proper state of mind, it seemed that was an appropriate time for that. All right. Somebody said something about Cyber Monday versus Black Friday. I can elaborate a little bit on it. And then I have a question for everybody after I'm done talking about this. I agree with Eye for Beauty. I think Black Friday may not have been the best call. Cyber Monday, just by basis of comparison, the amount of shoppers that would be dedicated to being online shopping, I think would have been more beneficial to Whatnot in the aspect of getting more buyers on there, which we just discussed earlier that's a necessity here on Whatnot. So I'm just in agreement with Eye for Beauty on that one. Why they chose Black Friday, I don't know if they just wanted to do it to be different, or I don't know. I probably could venture a guess if I spent a little more time thinking about it. But so I guess Crack. Oh, you're asking a question to the chat, Kraken. Okay. My other question to everybody right now is: has anybody else noticed the new user interface on Whatnot on the computer? Thank you. Everyone loves the ceiling. I didn't see what Donatello said. What's everyone's opinion on that? The ceiling? It's not real tin. It's faux tin. Real tin, I cannot afford. Here's my that. Yeah. Is anybody else buyers and sellers? I want to know what your thoughts are. Fancy Cat still trying to figure it out. Yeah. I am very discouraged by it. Because, and here's the reason. Missed the question. The new interface, especially on the computer for Whatnot. Oh, a ton changed on there. I'll show you the thing I don't like on my phone. Does anyone notice this that you can't here? Here's what I don't. Here, let me flip you around. I noticed not too long ago that obviously, if I go up here and I like to search by category because that's to me what Whatnot should be focusing on is category searching because it should be a video-based platform, not an item-based platform. If Whatnot keeps trying to be an item-based platform, um, I just have to say this. Here's my concern. Me and my brother talk about this. I don't know if my brother's in here or not, but this is a simple analogy and term to understand. Whatnot cannot be eBay, but eBay can be Whatnot. And the more Whatnot keeps trying to go in the same direction as eBay, the more eBay is going to overtake Whatnot. Whatnot had this, and I always you hear me complain about this all the time. Had this opportunity to be a new groundbreaking sales platform um, that was creating a new experience for people. And that's what's called an anchor. You create a new experience for a way to shop online, even though it wasn't brand new and they were doing it in other countries, but here in the United States, they were ahead of the curve by leaps and bounds. And now they're like retroactively following, and I said this before, it's like they decided to jump backwards and try to follow somebody that was behind them, and they're trying to mimic somebody that was not as successful as them and was going down a completely different path. So it my concern, my prediction is if they keep going down this path, that they say they're not going to sell to eBay, and they're not going to because eBay doesn't need to buy them. But my fear is, as opposed to being a groundbreaking new selling platform that could overtake a lot of other selling platforms and could have created a whole new space that they would have dominated in, they're going to end up selling out to a place like uh, YouTube or Google or some other place that's been dying to find a sales platform that can provide them with revenue. Um, so that's my concern, and you can just see it in the way they keep changing things. Luckily, they got rid of that little banner bar at the bottom, and if anybody has ever gone to eBay live sales, that's exactly where that came from. That was a complete because that's what eBay does. They decided to try to do it, and as we know, it failed here because we are different buyers. You created an environment that people loved and they were expanding by leaps and bounds, and now they're trying to mimic something that they shouldn't be trying to mimic. But anyway, shipping's been a nightmare. What's your shipping problems been? Do you think District is going to affect Whatnot? District, that other selling platform, is that what you're talking about? And if that is what you're talking about, no, it's not going to have any effect on Whatnot, in my opinion. No. Oh, yeah, 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 Donna. I mean, that's been all errors and glitches all over the place the last couple of days, and in my opinion, it's because of their load testing for Friday, and why these companies decide to put in new user interfaces and all kinds of changes right before the biggest selling season, it baffles me. It's like, stick with what's working, let us get through the holiday selling season with the least amount of glitches, and then go to experiment. I don't get it. I know Crazy Lamp Lady, I understand she's a big factor, but she's still next to nothing in the grand scheme of things. I know that might be controversial, but her going to this platform is not going to change things and make everybody leave. Plus, that's a static selling platform. I don't even believe that's a live selling platform. It's she's leveraging her influence to create an environment that helps her make more money, and she should for all the work and effort she puts into what she does. She has that ability to do that, but it's not going to take away from Whatnot. Um, you know, the like is pointed out on a regular basis, this category is like what 1% or less of 1% of what Whatnot does, and her in this category, is only a couple percentage at best of what the entirety of the category is. So her having another thing on a completely different platform is not going to affect Whatnot. So Again, I'm going to give you my frustrations here in a second. So here's my frustration. Hi, Nyla. Here comes my other cat. When I go to search by category, which is what I do, here's what I don't like anymore. If I go to estate sales, I don't have the option to search all. I used to be able to search everything all at once. Now all I can do is do estate sales, storage units, or return pallets, blah, blah, blah. That bothers the crap out of me. I don't like that. So that's on the phone. One of the big things that I don't enjoy, because they should have it where you can search all, because it's supposed to be a like, again, they're trying to get you to narrow down your searches as opposed to broaden them and let people just scroll through and pick what they want. So it's concerning to me. And then on here, what I don't like, here's the new for me. This is what comes up now. Whereas before, I'd be able to go over here and go to categories and pick the category I want to look at. Now it's a 3-step process. I got to go up here, click on explore, then go down here and click on estate sales, and then go over here and click on shop all or what I want. So in order to get to a screen that I would get to in 1 click, it now takes me 3 clicks. How is that effective? That is ridiculous. How is turning something that's a 1 click into a 3-click process? We all know that it's not. It is not an effective strategy. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah, at least you can still do it, but why would you make something that is as important as searching a category more complicated? And they're trying to do the same thing a lot of other places do, where they're like, "Oh, when you get on here, the first thing you start researching, we're just going to try to cram that down your throat instead of you being able to explore and find new things." They're just like, "We'll just keep pushing the same stuff right in front of your face." I, I don't understand that concept, because on a platform like this where you get to scroll through all the different categories, that's half the fun, and exploring and finding new things was one of the big entertaining aspects of Whatnot. Yeah. And again, if they keep trying to be eBay, what if they keep trying to be eBay and eBay Live goes well, which they're not going to give up on, why are we going to be on here? Why would you be on here? I've been watching eBay Live sales, and I understand it's the buyer to seller pool is colossally off, but the people on there, if you're on there, don't take too much offense to this, but that it's not that great. But they get great prices and they have a huge viewership count. Yeah, and here's my problem. Whatnot can decide to be a lesser company and sell to somebody else, or they could have decided to be a groundbreaking, different experience, turn themselves into a powerhouse that could have eventually bought other companies, as opposed to instead of being consumed, they could have been consuming. And I believe that wholeheartedly. If they had stuck with that, stuck with like all the talk that they used to have, about things like, you know, at one point in time they were talking about having a subscription base, and I know a lot of people don't think that was going to be a viable, but it absolutely, with other tools like, here, let me ask everybody. Let me ask you this. Let's say I had everyone here is familiar with Patreon, right? The Patreon service where you can have subscription with special content and all that kind of stuff, right? Can everyone in the chat acknowledge with me there that you're familiar with that? Imagine if you had something like that on Whatnot that's tied in, where I could have a subscription where somebody paid like $4.99 a month, and if they were part of that subscription, Let me know if everybody would be interested in doing something like this. If this was available and whatnot. 4.99, right? You get access to all the videos I have. All right, Zero, get down. You get access to exclusive auctions where I do like sneak peek first come auctions where you got to have access to it before anybody else did. And at the very least, you would have gotten a Zero. You're driving me nuts. A 5% off coupon that you could utilize once throughout 30 days, which means you could get all your money and then some back for what you had. Do I have a mod? I don't have a mod. Who needs to be modded? Is something funky going on? The sellers will inflate prices. So, in the end, if you wouldn't do it for me, I know there's plenty of people in here that would take it that would be able to take advantage of that. So that was my point in all this is that was the kind of stuff they were talking about doing at one point in time, which would have made it more of a social aspect and being able to leverage income outside of your normal just selling. Hold on a second. My 80 baby, are you in here? Is Zimpris in here or SS? All right, hold on. Zero, you are driving me absolutely crazy. There, you're modded. So if there's something funky going on that I'm not seeing, I don't know why my phone's being crazy. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what was going on in the chat. I just saw people asking if I had a mod, but now you're the mod. So I missed if anybody even said what they said. Whether or not you'd be interested in something like that, I believe there's a large cross section that would be interested in things of that nature, and they're not. That's gone. Hold on. There you go, SS. Say hi, SS, with the new power mod. Oh my goodness. All right, let's just make everybody mods. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. We're going to have a mod full. Oh, yeah. Eye for Beauty. Sorry. Sorry. Hold on. Is there a limit on mods? Yeah. The biggie with my whole idea, obviously, you heard my philosophy on percent off coupons. It'd be a no brainer, in my opinion. I'd be able to give a 5% off coupon that would more than pay for the subscription. And it would, provide dividends for us but again, that was stuff that they were talking about doing, and now it's completely gone. Don't agree with Patreon/paying. I'm sure there's people that wouldn't agree with it, but I don't even know if it's something that you don't agree with. Some people might not agree that it would do anything, but It just feels to me like that's the type of things that they services and options that should start being provided. And I keep always making this argument. Um, Donatella, everyone that's sellers on here that gets a decent amount of people on a regular basis. No one tried to promote you. You guys can promote your shows. Go knock yourself out. It's a chat show. I'm not selling. I don't need you to, you're not going to distract from me selling anything. Um, so, here's the deal. Eyes online are really important and valuable. So if we're selling here on Whatnot, you see, there's, times we have sales, you have 100 people in the chat, you have 80 people in the chat, whatever. I mean, how many people buy out of that? What's your average buy? And you have people coming in and out all the time where it ends up being like 1,000 people through the course of your sale that come in and out of your sale for some period of time. So when it's all said and done, why they're not trying to figure out how to monetize all those eyes, because there's more people watching than buying. That's all there. That's just a truth on here. I mean, I don't think that's arguable. I don't think you can tell me that there's more people buying than watching. So why are not they not taking their biggest resource opportunity and doing nothing with it? I mean, does everyone understand what I'm talking about? What I'm saying? Where do you heard they're trying to implement ads? I mean, if you're talking about the promotion option, yeah, exactly. Your average to the two. If they're actually doing that, then I recant a ton of what I'm saying, because that's what they should be doing. They should be figuring out how to add. And when I say ads, I'm not talking about promoting shows internally, because that's just taking money from your own pool. You need to bring money from outside in. If you're doing promoted ads from inside, you're just taking more money out of the pockets of the people that are selling on here. So if uh did I miss it? Did the promotions go live for every category? Is that what happened? Okay. Yeah. And I explained that before. If you're internally monetizing already, I don't understand. I feel like Whatnot should be, utilizing resources through other avenues to monetize people's eyes, from outside. Get money from the buyers, not the sellers. We want more buyers buying stuff and paying for things than we want sellers. Yes, stories. We already went over that. I call BS on the story as to why they got rid of it. Bullcrap. Complete bullcrap. That did great. That did wonderful things for people that were new sellers on here. It did great for people that didn't sell as frequently, wasn't on here 24/7. But guess what? They want you on here 24/7. So they tell you a bunch of crap. They tell you numbers. You can do a test, whatever you want, to create the numbers you need to hit an objective you want. The reality of the situation is, you can tell I'm heated about this, is that they were given prime location, front and center for free. So what a big deal. So you're doing something no other platform does for your buyers. Shame on you. That stuff drives me nuts. That was the reason I say it's BS, because they didn't have it up very long. It was up as an option for less than a year. And when they first put it up, they were touting how great it was for everybody. Then suddenly it's not great for everybody. No. I mean, come on, give us credit. We've been around long enough to hear both ends of the spectrum. Don't try to pull the wool over my eyes and say some internal numbers changed somewhere in a couple of months. I could tell the difference when I did stories. We got a way better turnout. That But that's not even true, because they were making more money. It's just not the way they wanted. They see that as a better opportunity to charge people for that placement. sponsored ads in chat. To me, there's all kinds of stuff. Like when they were doing that white border thing down at the bottom, if they wanted to keep it all internal, um, let's say there's someone like us. Here's a thought. Everyone remembers the short-lived banners that they had at the bottom, right? It didn't last very long. Okay. Let's say they had something similar to that where, something popped up. If I allowed it, I could turn it on and turn it off. Let's say as everyone knows, I don't like having stuff in my buy it now. It's not something I'm, really interested in doing. But let's say I decided, hey, let me allow other people's items to be exposed during my chat where they can buy the items, somebody else's, if they wanted to advertise their items on during my chat, that they could do so. Throw a banner ad at the bottom like that. And I get a portion of the sale. I would love that. And also, if there's people in here that don't want to, sell live, they could just put a bunch of stuff in the store and try to sell on other people's big streams. And the people that are big streamers would be on all the time because they would get an extra revenue source off of somebody else's items. Plus, it would give you exposure to a bunch of different categories. So let's say, somebody in comic books or in jewelry while we're doing our sort, save, and sell, or just different things in general are in our chat open to the people that we allow to be open to. It'd be mutually beneficial. Again, I don't like the idea I like, but it's still internal funds paying for internal sales, which I still think they need to outsource that fund, bring money from outside in instead of inside to their pocket. But it would still be something in the community that would be mutually beneficial. It'd benefit Whatnot, it'd benefit other sellers for better exposure, and it would benefit the seller for free money for providing it. So, well, the thing is, they should have it available to turn on and off, in my opinion. So, I don't know what's going on in chat. What did I miss? What's going on? What are we talking about? What should we talk about? Why do some sellers hide past shows? I don't know. I mean, that you'd have to ask them. Well, it's the same thing, my 80 baby, guilty by association. You can't do anything about it because it's an internal response that deals with our primitive part of our brain that's instinctual. So yes, people are guilty by association, and unfortunately, it's not fair, and there's nothing you can do about it. Um, Unless you have some other point you're curious about and want to make. To the contrary, I'd be all ears and really interested in hearing. My whole point is be aware of it and you leverage those aspects to your benefit. Yeah, and guilty is a negative word. So how to stay neutral? Try to stay out of the drama. I mean, it's a social app, so neutrality is always going to be hard. Stay away from like anything anybody tells you in your work environment. Don't talk politics. Don't talk religion. Um, you know, you get into back and forth. Make sure it's with people you can, like me and Liz. Having difference in opinions on certain elements. Make sure it's with people is not going to turn into a crazy, silly, dramatic back and forth. Um, like be friendly, but I don't necessarily endorse. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't. Do you have a contact with Whatnot? Yeah, I have a couple contacts with Whatnot. I don't we don't do a whole lot. Contract? Oh, no, 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 no. I don't have a contract with Whatnot. Not at all. No, no, no. The best we got is some contacts. Um, we are not a contract place. We came here with no social media. We brought nothing. Everything we did here on Whatnot was built solely on Whatnot. New bell feature. Everyone will soon get it. It's on the main page. I don't know what that is. Yeah, they're working on the split screen thing. That'll be fun. What's the new bell thing? I'm at a complete loss. What is the relevance to it? What's it mean? Maybe I'll have to look it up. Go to the main page. I'll have it. Okay. I will then. I'll look into it. I don't. Is it? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean that's cool. The percentage thing for people if they can get it. They've changed notifications. Oh, I have notifications turned off. so, so is it just basically like a thing showing you have to address something or look at something? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll see what it is. Oh, I got so it's a thing that notifies you when somebody's live type of thing? Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. New to me. Yeah, that double letter thing, it's funny. That yeah, that's I mean, when you know that it's there, it's just kind of entertaining. What do you want, Nyla? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's funny. She would normally crawl all over me and not leave me alone, and here she is. Goodbye. Yeah, she usually hangs out, but I guess because Zero's sitting here on my lap. Yeah, rude. Yeah, if it was 4:30 this morning, she's not shy about anything. Not at all. I have two cats. Zero, which is laying on my lap right now. And Nyla. No, Nyla could care less if I'm busy or not. Whatever Nyla wants something, she makes sure she gets it. Show on your phone, your main page, you'll see it. Okay. There's supposed to be a bell on my main page. Click all. All categories? I'm getting a learning lesson here via chat. Well, what am I clicking on? Because I'm not seeing a bell, but that's okay. I'll figure it out like I do. Look at the top. I'll see a bell. Where's my bell? I don't see a bell. You mean like my profile page? Is that what you're talking about? This page where we have all the gibberish about us and the messages and edit profile and all that? Okay, go to yours. All right. You mean that thing up there on the right that's crossed out? Okay. So that's new and that's crossed out because I have all my notifications turned off. Click on it. Oh. It says turn on whatnot notifications to see updates from the seller. So I would just click on that if I had notifications on, and then what would happen? They would notify me every time you're on? Okay. Good deal. That's not I didn't the funny thing is, to be honest, I thought that that was already a thing. I thought I thought that that was already part of whatnot. Wow. Yeah, that shocks me. It alright. It's 10 o'clock. I've been on for 2 hours. Is there anything else anyone wants me to touch base on? Anything I started chatting about and didn't? Oh, I said I was gonna try to sell some stuff, but I think I ran out of time. Go work on that house. Thank you for the tip, Kelly. Anybody wanna buy some stuff from me to do an experiment? Yes? No? Oh, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm gonna sell it because I'm trying to do an experiment here, and I need your help to accomplish it. What do I have? It's very familiar stuff, everybody. Hey, beautiful. I'll be done in a minute. Boyd's. No, 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 no. Here, check this out. Look, I completed the puzzle. You see that? Yep, it's completed. I spent all the time. And because it's completed, my goal for you to get this thing to over $5 is what I'd be looking for. And I'm going to do my normal $1 in 10 seconds. Now, it's not going to come to you completed, but it is running. You're going to help me reach my goal. It's a puzzle. So we're in at one whole dollar. I tell you, the fun part is you give this to a kid and tell him if he can solve it, he gets 2 scoops of ice cream as opposed to 1. $3. My goal was not completed. My goal was not completed. Failed. That's an F on that one. I wanted $5. I got $3 instead. Well, here, it's not coming to you completed. There you go. Whoever bought it now gets to complete it. I was just showing you you can. All right. Scapegoat. How long did it take you to complete that? About 2 minutes. Poor goat. Yeah, look at that. But you can relieve its pain. We have these. Yeah. Challenge accepted. All right. The challenge on this one, because of my experiment that I'm doing, I need to get $14 for this. And I'm going to start it at $1. It's running. It's a scapegoat. Well, you can accept the challenge on the scapegoat too. Y'all know Christmas is right around the corner. I'm only halfway there. Come on, you need to help me complete this. Good. I failed again. I failed again. Of course you're confused. I should. The challenge is to get to the number that I'm asking. That's my challenge. We all familiar with these beauties? The Ballet Cat ornaments. We all know it's vintage stuff. This is all Shackman stuff, 1999. Like I said before, conversation piece galore. How many are in here? I think there's a dozen of them. There's 6 of them in here. Oh yeah, there is 6 of them. If I did a Christmas tree, which I don't, I'd put these on my Christmas tree just because I know everyone would ask 1,001 questions about it, and it'd be hilarious to make up stories that involved with it. Well, talk about it. I just did talk about it. You want me to talk more about it? All right, everybody. This one, I need a big, big number out of this. Let's see if I fail on this one. I need $25. $25. I mean, what's that come out to per cat? That's like nothing. Yeah. $1, 10 seconds. These are by far the best thing. There you go. There you go. $4.20 per cat. Wow. That was awesome. Nobody wanted the cat ornaments. Well, you could have bought it for $1. I was just telling you I was looking for 25, right? So the question is, what's the reason I got the prices I did? Why did I get nothing for this? Why? How'd you let me down? Yeah, but I was just asking for it. I didn't start it at $25. I started at $1 and asked you to get me there. So you didn't bid on it at all because I asked for $25. Is that the answer? Is that what's going on? The fun thing is I'm going to watch this back because now I have a lot of curiosities to fulfill. Here, I'm going to start it again. No expectations. There you go. It's running. I don't care what it sells for. First purchase with Green 13. Thank you for your biz and business. Welcome to the family. Everybody congratulate them and welcome them to the club. All right. All right, everybody. My question, who here was at Liz's who here was at Liz's chat show with me? Yeah. And did you recognize those 3 items? Yeah. So here's my question to you and the experiment. Liz sold the same exact 3 items. I sold the same 3 items. I think she got more than I did across the board on on the items. Maybe the first one I sold for $1 more than she got. So my question is, was it because did she get more than me because of her relationship with you guys as buyers, or because of the way she was selling in comparison to the way I was selling? Yeah. Does it fall under the category of the way I was selling or the trust factor? Is my curiosity. I know there is a lot more to it. Yep. You see my cat? Yeah. Let me ask you it this way. Do you guys think that you trust is a trust factor with Liz higher than it is with me? My personal belief is I don't think that's the case. So that leaves us with, in my opinion, the way we decided to sell. I understand. I did that as an experiment because I knew we would have tons of people in here that were at Liz's show. I know, but I obviously intentionally sold it drastically in a different manner than I normally would, of course. You can't wait for her rebuttal. Yeah, I'm just having fun. I know she's gonna have a rebuttal, and that's why I'm doing this. just just having a good fun back and forth here. So I'll do a little plug for her on her behalf because we're doing some fun. She does chats on Mondays. Very good chat show. I usually have it on the background when I'm working on Mondays. So she'll be on tomorrow, and she won't have probably listened to this chat yet. But yeah, it was, and of course, it's such a limited content. There's no, there's way more aspects I could go into, but just our back and forth. Again, my takeaway from what we were talking about is she leans more heavily to that being a factor than the way we sell, and I lean real heavily into the way we sell as being a higher factor in the prices we get out of an item. So that was my experiment. Spur of the moment experiment, so it's not too thoroughly thought out, but it's still fun. But yeah. All right, everybody. Oh, my wife wants upstairs. Is already. Anyone want to see another room in our house? we do these tours. Oh, I have to kill 2 minutes. I have to kill 2 minutes, everybody. She's making the bed. So we'll go up there in 2 minutes. Do I really have to ask? I was always told it's polite to ask, right? My 80 baby loves your mug. I love her mug too. Both of them. This one and her face. You let me know when you're ready. She told me 2 minutes. It could be like 5 minutes. I'm gonna sit here and tell everyone. I'm supposed to ask another question. I need them to ask me a question to talk about. No, 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 no. He's not a tabby. I mean, he's just a mixed breed cat that we got from here. Come here, buddy. You mean Shane? We knew each other from high school. The experiment, Liz, from what Liz likes, we have a back and forth conversation. It's been kind of going on as to whether, I believe that the environment and the way you sell is extremely weighted on the prices you get out of an item. She has a big lean into, I believe, what she calls her trust factor aspect to people buying on here. So I was just trying to show by basic comparison, I sold the exact same three items with a lackluster selling uh, tactic, essentially, like not really saying anything or very little about it and setting high expectations. Basically, just doing a hodgepodge, not the best way, a way you don't want to try to sell items. But anyway, to prove the point, in my opinion, that the way you sell, because I don't believe that anybody has a lower trust factor with me than Liz. And we have very similar buyers, and a lot of the same people that are in Liz's chat would also be here in my chat. So that was the point of the experiment. Well, I shouldn't say lackluster, just different. No matter what I did, the outcome would have proven, like even if I would have did something to get the higher prices, it would still prove that the environment I had causes a colossal difference. I think this thing right here, this right here, she got like $13 for. What did I get? Like $3 or something like that for it. This thing here, I think I got like $3. She got like $7 for it. It's not, it was all just to express the differentiating in style and what it kind of impact it has. So
I'm not ready, but you
you wanted the puzzle because I did it. Yeah, and all the reasons you didn't. Here's the deal. I'm not saying the point was to show that the way I was selling impacted the outcome, and everything you're saying proves that point. Because of what I did and how I did it is why it turned out the way it did, not because you didn't trust me. Do you understand where so that was the experiment. Okay? That makes sense? I don't, like, I'm not trying to get you to say that you would have paid more. It's just showing that aspect. Cats are crying. So if I confused everybody, that's all that was about. All right. You kind of want to go, well, you could have bid on it. All right. Actually, this room's a little bit of a mess, but for those of you who haven't seen, I know a lot of people like the ceiling, but this is my office / like den. Yeah, the brick, there was a whole closet here. We ripped all that down. I exposed that. For those of you that haven't seen it, here's my bar. And I've shown people this here. The chair. That chair, the big beat up chair. Yeah. That is a chair that I had tried selling it, and nobody wanted to buy it because it was like that and like that. Yeah, this. I think it was. Yeah. So, but it is comfy as all get out. It is my chair. It's where I sit and watch TV. So, but then, yeah, there's my bar. I use those old radios. The other room's kind of a mess, isn't it? She's like, just go upstairs. Don't show the whole tour. Don't show the whole place. But she's standing down there. And you want to see the bar again? Okay. Is the light in there? They can see it plenty. Yeah, the radios, if anybody, this is real easy. These radio shelves are not expensive. All I did is, if you can see up in there, you see that little metal pin? Those are floating shelf anchors. I have some Japanese whiskey, not much. I think I had it on here. I don't buy Japanese whiskey because too much of it's just imported whiskey that's sold at a unnecessarily high price. So those things are really easy to make. You just empty those out. Actually, you don't empty it. You can buy them empty really cheap and make shelves out of them. So they're still going to want to see the other room, beautiful. What did you say? Not today? All right, everyone's we're going up to a new room. This here is funny. I gotta show you. This is our cat scratcher. You just put a piece of cloth and framed it for the cats to scratch. All right, we'll back up here. Actually, no, let's go from this angle. Try to anyway. This is an attic. There's our little desk and chair. Here is, if anybody was following along, here's my wife's first engagement ring that she lost. The sapphire and diamond ring there in the center. This one right there. The grass cloth, yeah. We did, I'm trying to get a better view here. So we did, she did that wallpaper back there, all the grass cloth.
That's from Liverpool, England, behind the bed.
So that is hey, Zero. Zero is following us. And then there's my walk-in closet, which I will not open. There's her walk-in closet. Here's our mid-century modern style side of the house. Our chair. And then this fun thing, I love this. It's a, I mean, you can see it's a fireplace we have up here. I mean, it's a great item. I had a little bit of frustration with the company, and it just runs on these gel flame cans. Right there, you see 3 of them, all 3. Turn it on. You have to light it. You actually have to light the actual flames. So
Okay.
run it. No, like fondue. And then, yeah, we had this. Here's again, my wife wallpapered everything. You can see the grass cloth. And then she did all this wallpaper. Obviously the bookshelves, and then the built-in, we had that put in a couple years ago. We had those lights put in over here. I mean, I should show you the before and after. It's absolutely insane what she managed to do. The floor, obviously we redid the whole floor and everything. So, yep, very cozy. This is our bedroom. Yep. Oh, there's Zero in the window. Run the wallpaper. Hey, buddy. So, where you at? Beautiful. Can I go into the spare bedroom? Wonder where Nyla's got to.
I'm gonna turn on all the little lights, so that's you.
Can I show him the hallway?
There's stuff in the hallway.
So she says no. There's stuff in the hallway. Zero is the cat's name. As you can see, my wife loves wallpaper. So here's all the fun cloud wallpaper. You know, we even did all of this kind of stuff, if you can see it. We replaced all the old hinges with newer, I mean, they're all brass hinges. But yes, Pennsylvania is where we're at. Oh, look at my hair. Getting crazy.
Oh, I didn't do this right.
No wallpaper. Yeah, it is cozy. We kind of are designing it that way. Nothing crazy. Keeping it kind of small. We bought a smaller house after my stepdaughter and stepson were pretty much done living with us.
Okay, you can walk through the other way.
All right. I've been given the go ahead. Oh, yes. Architectural salvage. Oh, yeah, I'll show you that stuff. Yes, we painted this floor. The reason we painted the floor in this room is because they had dogs. The prior owners had dogs, and we,
Red Sharpie.
yeah, they bred dogs here. So this floor, when we got down to the wood, was still too many problems. So we sealed it with a paint sealant and then painted it. So, and then architectural salvage, all this stuff over here, I will, is all salvage stuff from a really old church. And then this corner shelf over here is made out of 2 doors and some scrap wood that I coated with copper. So that's what that's made out of. And then, of course, there's more wallpaper, cork wallpaper. And then we'll go in here and we'll get going. Here's the spare bedroom that we did. And we do these tours every now and then because people ask. It's kind of funny. But again, more wallpaper. And then if you can see the ceiling, it's kind of hard. For those of you who already know it, you see that the way that all we did was rip down the plaster and left the lathing and stained it black. Yeah, we exposed the brick. Donna, of course you can come stay. I've told SS Vintage she can come and stay in the spare bedroom. People love this bed. Is so comfy. It's crazy. The house was built in 1901. 1901. So here's all the, and it is super, super cozy. How much at night? And then we can go out here in the hallway. I've been given permission now. SS, I told you, yes. Don't double. I'm not going to. You do what you. I don't need to double dare you to come and stay. Or, I mean, Zimpress, if you want to come hang out sometime, there's a spare bedroom here. SS Vintage Donatella. Sure, I double dare you to. I think you're too busy, Donatella, to take the time.
You gonna show them the lights down here?
You seriously booked me the room. So here's here's our hallway. We live in it's a row home in Lancaster City. So we'll show you from the back end. This is here. Hold on. So we went full circle. Here's back in the office. And then here's the hallway. So this is we took the banister out and we put this in here to make it feel like there's more space. We put the glass railing in here, and then and this house is a house in project. So if we go downstairs there, you're going to have a very different view of what our house looks like. You want me to come down? So here you can see no kids, correct. You can see what we have to do yet. We're working from the top down, everybody. So here's what will be our future living room. Look at that disaster we have to deal with. But here's what we're working on right now. This is the dining room. I just got done sealing the brick wall. There's the hole. We're in the middle. If you can see, check these lights out. Look at those. Look at that. Our ceiling down here is made with cork. We used a cork flooring. Yeah. Cork flooring tiles, what's up top. And then this is our table. When we talk about salvage pieces, check those legs out. And then here's the top. This will be our dining room table when it's all said and done. You have one of those bases? That's cool. I didn't get to the mural yet. This table is not attached. I still have to sand it and finish it. What did we pay for this? It was from a mill.
$60.
Yeah, we paid $60 for this tabletop. Now it was just raw wood, but that's all it cost us.
The legs cost much more.
Yeah, the legs were way more expensive. But then back to the wonderful. Yeah, this is my project for today. Taking apart this window. So there's the other wall. There's the mural we have on the opposite wall.
And you're helping with the Lincrusta today.
So there you go. You get to see, once it's all done, we'll bring everybody down to see it in its entirety, obviously. So Italian dinners with, yeah, you're correct. Well, there will be a buffet on this side of the wall. Over here, there's going to be a buffet, and we'll have some space over there for serving and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be able to fit. Basically, what's going to happen? We have this huge church pew right here.
10 feet.
It's a 10-foot church pew. That's going to go on one side of the table, and then we're going to have a built-in bench on the other side. Oh, yeah. The push-button light switches.
And they're different.
Yep, we put those in everywhere. Those are our light switches. They are new repros. So that turns the light on and off,
Antique hardware.
and this one dims the light. So we made it as close as we possibly could and being safe at the same time to original looking electricity or electric work.
And we use natural materials.
Yes, they know we use natural materials and nothing toxic. Even down to I use shredded jeans. It's a type of insulation that's made out of shredded jeans, recycled shredded jeans. 1901, the house was built. So, see, there's all the old light switches. So this one will dim the light, and turns it on and off. The kitchen is not even started. The kitchen and bathroom and back room and stuff upstairs, we are nowhere near even starting that. We have to finish the downstairs dining room, and we're doing all this ourselves. It's a slow pace, thorough job that we're trying to do. Yeah, she buys online. She gets it from all kinds of different places. So we're going to be doing some what's called Lincrusta paper, which is really thick stuff that they've been making the same way since the 1800s. I'm gotta be honest, I'm not really looking forward to trying to deal with that stuff. That stuff seems really hard to deal with. The guest bedroom one, that one came from England. The mural upstairs. I don't know where the mural downstairs came from. New Zealand. The mural downstairs came from New Zealand. So she shops from, as you can tell, from all over the place, all around, to try to find this stuff. My first name, my first name's Jeremy. Yep. Yeah. Any other fun questions anybody has? I said I was going to leave a half an hour ago. So, yeah. Well, we're doing it, not exactly back to, we try to as much as possible. But, some things you can afford and some things you can't. So you make the exceptions where you need and try your best at what you can with what you got. A glass purse that matches. Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of work. We've been here for years, and that's how far we got. We kind of sectioned it off into like it.
Project we're 4 years into.
Yeah, what was it, about 8 years?
It's an 8-year project.
Yeah,
We're almost exactly 4 years into.
yeah, we're about halfway through our 8 year goal of having the entire house from inside out done. So, no other questions, no last minute questions for me. So, Donatella, when are you coming to visit SS? I've been telling you for I don't know how long. I mean, you're in driving range now, SS. I mean, you have to deal with our less than stellar kitchen and bathrooms.
True.
You're gonna have to put up with old, less than pleasant bathroom and kitchen looking situations. Yeah, it's a brick house. The whole house is brick. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. No, I do whatnot. We have a yeah we I have a business that has a 4,000 square foot warehouse. Green 13 sells on a bunch of different platforms. So that is my job. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's also frustrating, Moonrise. Going through the entire process sometimes because you're trying to get it done right, exactly the way you want to get it done. It's a lot of trial and error, and certain things get more expensive than you're expecting. So I don't now go to work. Why are you trying to get me to go to work? It's not fun, SS. It's gonna be cold. Actually, I'm waiting until it gets a little warmer before I start taking a window out.
Yeah, you know you're stalling if they're telling you to leave.
Yeah. No, that's SS. She does that all the time. She's like, now go do your chores, Jeremy.
Thank you,
All right, everybody.
Someone has ADHD.
Yeah. I know today I didn't really have anything structured. Had some fun just doing the true random rambling. Elizabeth, I'm trying to help you. Yeah. So, hey, the tour was her idea. That wasn't me.
I said bedroom, but okay.
Well, yeah, if you show one, you got to show them all,
I
right?
didn't know that. I
Right?
didn't know that.
Right? Yeah. You can't jip them out of the rest of the rooms. All right, it's enough stalling. I did have a question I wanted to ask. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. I know we don't have as many people here as we did earlier when I should have asked this. My next chat that I'm going to do, stalling. Now, like I said, I'm going to get to the window. I just wait until it gets warmer out, so I'm not really stalling. And I got to run into the warehouse and get some other stuff done. Go buy some coins and blah blah blah. I'm going to go buy a coin collection from Katie. So that's all going to get done before I come back here and start ripping the window apart. So I got sourcing to do before I do work. I know you're kidding. I know you are. So when I do chat shows here at 8 o'clock in the morning, does anybody want me to do a chat show on like selling strategies and techniques at all? Like it seems like that's kind of a thing that's we've been kind of going towards. Would that be something you'd be interested in me doing? Okay. Yeah. So maybe I'll do it like a multi-tiered thing where we'll talk about it like every week, a little bit, kind of like I do a book suggestion. Help Mighty Baby. I'll help you, Mighty Baby. Everybody go follow My 80 Baby and watch her shows because she is the pinnacle of a personality that you should enjoy watching and buying from. So there. Go buy from My 80 Baby. She's spectacular. Hey, you leave her alone. You want to open G13 Midwest and do what I do. So here's what I'll do. I'll put some thoughts together and try my best to make that part of the next show. And if people really like it, then we'll just kind of dwell on it for a little while. I'll go over some old school, not even if you want me to, things that kind of can pertain, but some of the selling strategies I utilized even back in my flea market selling days when I'd sell at flea markets. Some of the strategies I utilized when I was doing mortgages, because that's the kind of stuff that even though it's not selling on whatnot, it's still selling yourself for sourcing. So I think that'd be beneficial to people that are new and curious to how to take different approaches. So if you guys would definitely enjoy something like that, I think I would enjoy putting something like that together. So, oh yes, Donatella, how far are you? Everybody go follow Donna. You trying to get to 14,000 followers? Oh, I did get a who OMGYG asked me if I was still on to raid somebody. Anybody know who that was? Hold on. Is there a train going on or something? Yeah, there is always a train. Something about Battle of the Holiday Sweater or something like that. I don't know how, like, I don't think that's an actual person, so I don't know. Um, Somewhere in time vintage. All right. All right, we're gonna raid somewhere in time vintage, it looks like. So if I can, maybe I can't. Yeah, it's not. What on earth? There we go. All right, I do have to get to work. So go say hi to somewhere in time vintage Battle of the Holiday Sweaters. Go buy some holiday sweaters. Until next time, everybody, happy bidding. I look forward to seeing you there.